So it's Maxey who brings up the ball for Philadelphia. A 12-point game on the court for Charlotte. James is out there with Colin Sexton. Then it's Knipple, and it's Mourning in at the 4.
That's where Maxey's at his best. He wants to get the ball inside.
Now here's Sexton. Pass to Mourning. Here's Knipple. Oh, there's the alley. Now here's Grimes. He's covered closely. There's the 3. He can't get it to go. Charlotte leading by 10. Now here's Sexton. James outside. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Mourning. And it's Irving with a rebound. Irving's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's Grimes. The kick out to Maxey. Fires the 3. Rebounded by Mourning. Mourning's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Maxey against Sexton. And he drives in. Here's Mourning. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Mourning's got 19 points.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, you'll be the first guy to make them pay. Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Sexton up top. Maxey covering. Sexton misses. 76ers trail by 10. Pass to Maxey. Goes up at the stripe. Nice spin off the left rim and in. 7 points for Tyrese Maxey.
And after being held scoreless in the first half, he's starting to turn it on.
A touch under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. Now, here is James. Some nice passing by Charlotte here. Here's Mourning. And it's blocked by Irving. They retain possession. That one falls. So it's Philadelphia now, trailing by 10. Maxey passes to Drummond. And the rebound goes to Charlotte. They led by as many as 18. Pass to Mourning. Fourth quarter keeps moving along. 3 minutes gone by now.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Now here's Maxey over Sexton. And here is Irving. And the finish by Irving.
Artistry and poetry in motion. Irving can create in the air as well as anybody.
Sexton with it, and Drummond picks him up defensively. Drummond against Sexton. Drummond grabs the miss. 76ers trail by 10. Pass to Grimes. The 3 ball. Not going to go that time. And we've got a timeout called by Charles Lee. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. Both teams will make substitutions. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I listened to Charles Lee talk to his team. Coach had a direct message for the team saying no matter the lead, no NBA game is ever over. Do not let your guard down. We'll see if they hold on.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. There's the screen. Here's Walker. Here's Diabate. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
When the shot goes up, he is not a guy you want to lose track of. Boy, that's a nice play right there.
Iverson. And then Embiid with the dunk.
With his diverse offensive game, 7 feet tall, maybe a little north of that, and 280 pounds, Embiid might be the toughest assignment in the league.
Now here's Bridges. Here's Walker. Blocked! defensively. Outside Maxey. George for three. They get it back. Here's Embiid. And with that one, the deficit trimmed to single digits. Embiid's got 4 points this quarter.
Embiid with a major contribution thus far. He's a guy that can carry his team.
Ball. Off on the layup. 76ers trail by 8. Outside George. Puts up the tray. Booyah! He sinks the triple.
Shut out from beyond the arc in the first period. He finally drains one.
Walker against Maxey. Ball fires. Oh, no good. Unable to end this run. Here's Embiid. Now it's Maxey. Puts up a deep three. George in the post. Working on Walker. Now Embiid. Oh, he jams it.
You like Embiid's confidence and willingness to step up in the big moment.
Walker against Maxey. Now Ball for three. Irving with a rebound. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter here. The 19-footer. And he sinks the jumper.
You can always trust Dr. J to deliver for you in the high-stakes moments. He's always ready to step up.
He launches. Money from three.
Wow. Huge points from Knipple. The youngster ready for a big moment.
George outside. Here's Irving. From downtown. The triple drop.
The doctor, Julius Irving, is a smooth operator in the clutch.
Ball. Oh, muscling it home. LaMelo.
Ball delivering big time, and that's real leadership right there.
It's stolen. Fast break. Here come the Hornets. Maxey pulls it down. And so it's Maxey who brings up the ball for Philadelphia. It's a three-point game. Outside Bridges. Outside Walker. Here's Ball. And he gets the jumper to fall.
I do not know if there's a more confident family in the NBA. Ball wants the ball when it matters most.
And timeout is called by Nick Nurse. He is not messing around, calling them into the hunt.
Dancing mascot, Franklin the dog.
Here's Irving. Shot clock and game clock. 1 second differential. 17-footer on the way. Ball there for the rebound. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Iverson, second personal foul. First team foul.
And so they foul intentionally.
Allen Iverson, third personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the Hornets, LaMelo Ball. 2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to go. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line. And that increases the lead to 6. Timeout called, the 76ers. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
The game's not quite done yet, but they need points right away.
Yeah, but they've got to score and then foul immediately.
Here's Embiid. Let's loose for three. Oh, it's off target. And they go to the intentional foul.
Joel Embiid, fourth personal foul, third team foul. At the line for the Hornets, Alonzo Mourning, taking 2 shots.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now for the second. And he does get the second one. And that makes it a 7-point lead. So the Hornets take the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them. They had to dig deep to come out on top.
Yeah, you know, some teams might buckle under the pressure towards the end. The crowd was so amped up, such a hostile environment. But they stood tall and got the win.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Clark Kellogg, this is Brian Anderson thanking you all for tuning in tonight. And before we go, we'll leave you with our player of the game.
Yo, baby, wanna too broke. I really got my own shorty. How you know I really hurt? Cause I'm what that won't. Call me Big Mama. I would hate too, cause I'm big poppin'. Louis V says I got big options. We are not the same, I got rich problems.
If she want it, she gon' get it. If she everybody type, she too pretty. I can't buy no for my. I like, sorry. I ain't tryna kick. I'm too busy. I'm like, why? Pose for me, baby. I'm like, why? Pose for me, baby.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. And roaming the sideline for tonight's game, our Allie LaForce. And a quick look now at how the Memphis Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Monday, they'll take on Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
And, Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Siakam and Jackson make up the inside pair. Paul George is out there with Nembhard. And it's Granger in at the 3. And for the Grizzlies, Morant and Caldwell Pope are their guards. Randolph out there with Jackson. And it's Gasol at the center position. And Craig, now that we have a new season underway, what's most important for these teams to remember right now?
That it's a long season, Kevin. And I know we say that a lot, but it's the truth. And to just remember, there's going to be plenty of ups and downs during the course of the year.
And buckets like this help Zach Randolph get going. It's always great to see the big man move like that. Go ahead.
From deep, George off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Outside Randolph. Back to Morant. Outside for Caldwell Pope. That 3 off the mark. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Indiana. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
You wonder if they're looking to take control of this one early. And when you have more talent, you want to keep the other guys from gaining any confidence.
And here's Morant after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Stolen by Jackson. And here's the fast break. Siakam leading the way. And finished off by Siakam.
Excellent anticipation of a teammate's defensive ability. Siakam gets out in transition. Nice.
They need to stop this run.
You know what, Kev? I think it's time to switch some things up, either by going to your bench or with a different look defensively to disrupt their rhythm.
Here's Nembhard following the basket by Marc Gasol. Outside, George. Jackson setting the pick here for George. A putback and the second chance over by Jackson.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Right now, let's take a second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Well, I had a chance to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies. We got to talking about Pascal Siakam. I'll be honest, I love his game, Coach said, but we have to look for ways to stop him. I'm hopeful we can disrupt his rhythm and push him off his spots. So not letting Pascal get what he wants is the game plan here. Back to you.
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you.
Nice poise from Morant, assessing the situation and then the ability to come through under pressure.
Now here's Granger. This came out 36 points for him. Shot clock at 5. It's rebounded by Randolph.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Shams Charania, who's calling in with a good story. Shams, what do you have?
Well, the Grizzlies made multiple moves over the last year to free up salary, and they put it to good use this summer with extensions for Jaren Jackson Jr. and Santi Aldama, not to mention signing free agent guard Ty Jerome. Now, trading away Desmond Bane hurt, but this team should continue to be a factor.
They play with swagger. Okay, Shams, we appreciate the reporting. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. Trailing by 4. Looks for Randolph. Gets it to him.
Well, Morant's acrobatics often get the attention, but his passing is also elite.
The Pacers have gone 50% from the field to this point. 4 of 8. And George, here we go. And the dunk by Jackson.
Boy, he may not be the biggest center in this league, but big-time athleticism on display.
Memphis with the ball. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And, guys, there's really a fine line between being aggressive and being out of control. In that one, they crossed the line.
You have got to be a low-mistake team in today's NBA because once those turnovers start piling up, you're giving your opponent too many extra looks.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph.
Well, Zach Randolph understands he's in the final stages of his career. He's been a journeyman, and he's got to serve now as a mentor for his younger teammates.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Indiana. And they say in today's game, Doris, no lead is safe, and that's especially true when you're playing the Pacers.
The comeback kings we saw in last year's playoffs, Kevin. They conjured up some of the most remarkable turnarounds in NBA history and the most unprecedented run of game-winning shots we've ever seen. Let's remember, Siakam is a tremendous athlete, gets to the cup, and nice finish.
What a great look here at this tremendous move from our AT&T Connected Cam point of view. Right side, Randolph. Over Siakam. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And this Grizzlies organization, Greg, not afraid to innovate.
Yeah, we see that with the offense they've implemented. Different from just about any other team in the league. Rather than pick and roll, it's much more predicated on off-ball shifts and cutting. A low post specialist who also rebounds it well. Randolph really brings it, knows his strengths, and plays to him.
And Randolph drops them both.
So critical that your big men be able to shoot free throws at a high rate.
Now George. He's coming off a 28-point game against Oklahoma City.
And his court vision was extraordinary, too. Let's not forget that. He was flawless passing the ball.
As crafty as they come. George has lots of experience when it comes to mixing up defenders.
Pass the line for 2.
No good on that.
Probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Spencer's checked in, and a change for the Pacers. Benedict Mathurin, he's checked in for Pascal Siakam. He's off on the second. And one of the many challenges for a small market team like the Pacers, Greg, going up against that luxury tax.
And they've avoided carrying a payroll, having incurred the tax. But right when they said they were planning to do just that, the Bucks stunned everyone with the maneuver to secure Pacers center Miles Turner and perhaps let him off the hook.
Now George, following Jaren Jackson's three-point attempt. Indiana again missing. And stolen by Granger. Fires from deep. And Paul George good for 3. George has got 9. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Pacers.
They're really mucking things up for the opposition. Racking up steal after steal. Just not letting them develop any kind of offensive rhythm.
Yeah, they've also been alert and active on the defensive end, creating turnovers and turning those into points on the offensive end. But the defense hanging in right there, making that shot really difficult.
Outside, Randolph. Launches a 3. Danny Granger pulls it in. For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the Thunder. Endorse Rick Carlisle, now in his second stint as the head coach of the Indiana Pacers.
But he is a basketball lifer, Kevin. Over 2 decades as an NBA head coach, he has seen it all. Remember the 2011 title win in Dallas. His guidance has been a key to this Pacers' recent success.
And the first one at the line is good.
I think the experience Paul George possesses is so valuable to his team. This guy is such a seasoned vet.
Siakam is checked in for Isaiah Jackson. And he makes the first but misses the second.
And you know, George is a tough cover. The length, the range, smooth athlete, very difficult to match up with.
Now here's Randolph. 8 points for him. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Well, listen, he may not be lights out, but if you give him that good a look, he's going to hurt you.
Now here is George. Covered by Wells. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
for the three. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Thank you. Well, this September, Grizzlies legend Marc Gasol was enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. A three-time All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year, Marc was acquired in a trade for his brother, Pau Gasol, who was likewise an All-Star with the Grizzlies. Marc, a fixture on and off the court in Memphis. Back to you guys.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. In recent seasons, availability has been a problem for John Morant. Greg, dig into that a little bit.
Well, from a league suspension to multiple injuries, Morant has missed a significant amount of time, but we know when he's on the court, he's a game changer.
That's good from Morant.
And it's hard to pick a more electrifying player in the league than John Morant. He explodes off the floor.
Santi Aldama's checked in for the Grizzlies. Toppin, he's checked in for Indiana. Aaron Nesmith comes in for George. It's stolen by Aldama. Morant against McConnell. Fires for three. Toppin pulls it in. Indiana's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. To the inside. And Toppin throws it down.
Well, the vertical of Obi Toppin on display rises up with ease.
Here's Morant. Pass to Wells. Fires the three. What a play. Simply trains it in at the buzzer.
Big time shot to beat the buzzer there. My goodness.
Well, that's the perfect end to the quarter for them. You have no idea how much of an effect those buzzer beaters can have on a team's momentum.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. It's the Grizzlies. They lead by 1. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.